Welcome to Discovery! Roll the intro, please. We are back and diving into the second week of December releases. There are a lot of albums released this week. Some of you might not think so, but trust me, there were a lot of fucking albums. Some were fantastic, while others were just okay. And a few definitely grew on you. This week promises to be another big episode of Discovery, and I mean another fucking big week of Discovery. We're talking about double-header discoveries this week. Holy shit. While others are wrapping up their best of year lists at the start of December, my quest for Discovery is still going strong, and I have some exciting news. Discovery will continue all the way through to the new year, to 2025. It doesn't stop, and it won't stop. Albums are constantly being fucking released, and while some may miss the mark, I sift through the noise to find the gems. The show will keep going throughout this year, and we'll take a 2-week break at the start of the year before kicking off season 7 of Discovery in mid-January. That's my plan. If you don't like it, there's the fucking door. And I'll be releasing the best metal albums of 2024 at the first few days of 2025. So you guys will still have to wait a while. We're doing top 50 this time, and one of the albums featured in this episode of Discovery could very well make this fucking list. So before I dive in, what albums have you discovered? Share your thoughts down below, and let's get started. To kick off Discovery, we have a band from Mexico called R.I.U.Y.A.Y.P.C, who released their debut album Existence independently on December 8th. Take a listen. R.I.U.Y.A.P.C is a death metal band, and while this debut album is good, I wouldn't categorize it as great. The album is filled with melody, and the guitars really shine throughout. I say it's not groundbreaking because I've encountered similar sounds before, and nothing particularly fucking innovative stood out. That said, there are a few tracks that are quite impressive. Faded Memories, for example, is rich with beautiful guitar melodies and features some excellent guitar solos that showcase impressive technicality. The songwriting is intricate, and the drumming is filled with like fucking rhythmic patterns that I can generally appreciate. The vocals are deep and demonic at times, and although the album is classified as melodic death metal, there are enough elements to suggest it could easily fit within the realms of technical death metal, even straight death metal. The riffs are particularly strong, especially in songs like Towards Eternity, Fading Horizon, and a hard-hitting finale, The Emptiness That Remains. I consider this a solid melodic death metal album, especially for those who prefer harsh, aggressive vocals. There are no clean vocals here. If you're looking for vocals that sound like they are from hell, you've come to the right place, and I mean that in a good fucking way. Clocking it at around an hour, the album is fairly lengthy for a melodic death metal release. However, there are some filler tracks such as Soul Scars and Existence that didn't do much for me. That said, the rest of the album is quite solid. The production is commendable with a raw sound that suits the melodic death metal genre. I also appreciate the murky quality of the recording, and the album cover is intriguingly mysterious. And this is one of the reasons why I chose the album, was because of that cover. Well, that being said, I'm giving this album a score around 65%. I definitely recommend giving it a listen if you enjoy melodic death metal or technical death metal, as there are some really good moments throughout. The great solos, what times sounded a bit disjointed, they work well as a whole overall. Overall, it's a good album with strong songwriting, but I doubt it will make it onto my end of year list. The Canadian heavy metal band, oh god, are we going through this band? Karnage through Crossing released a debut album, Shattered Chains, independently on December 12th. Take a listen. Okay, I'm going to be upfront. I'm a bit torn about this album. There are aspects I like and there are aspects I don't like. First, let's discuss what I appreciate about this release. It's unique, blending heavy metal with elements of death metal. The musicianship is impressive and I love the guitar riffs, which at times evoke the sound of Iron fucking Maiden. The songwriting is solid but leaves room for improvement, and there are some excellent guitar solos passages throughout. Now let's get to the downside, specifically the clean vocals. While Rhys Trimmel's death growls are really good, his clean vocals leave much to be desired. They sound like a poor imitation of Rob Halford. Just imagine Rob Halford, a Wish version, and I found them quite disappointing. I hate to be harsh, but his clean vocals detract significantly from the overall experience of the album. It's unfortunate, especially since his harsh vocals are fantastic and his guitar work is equally impressive. However, the clean vocals really drag this fucking album down. As I mentioned, this is a divisive album for me. There are some great melodies and catchy choruses and it can get heavy at times. The growls fucking surprised me when they first hit the track, Crimson. Judgment Day features a solid riff, but again the vocals aren't great. The clean vocals aren't great. I really enjoyed Maverick, which has an Iron Maiden-esque flow. In Bound to Drown, the growls really shine, while Spikes and Leather leans more towards a thrash-orientated style, and I don't mind the vocals here as they convey more aggression. Demons is a standout track, showcasing demonic growls throughout and featuring a fantastic solo. Cognitive Dissonance is also a highlight, though the clean vocals are sometimes off-putting. Thankfully, thank fuck, the death growls make a strong impact and elevate the song. Honestly, this album would have been brilliant without the clean vocals. I prefer his harsh vocals a million times fucking more. With that being said, I'm narrowing the score down to 50%. While it's fine overall, those clean vocals really brought the album down. It receives a 50%, but I do appreciate the innovative elements that blend heavy metal and extreme metal. So that part is pretty cool. One album that was incredibly fun and could very make it onto my end of year list. Yes, I'm serious. It's the Spanish band Invicti and the album R.I.U.Y.A.Y.P.C, released on December 11th through Demon Records.
The enemy will burn in hell.
This album is fucking outstanding. I loved it from start to finish. It combines traditional heavy metal with a fresh twist, and it's so much better than the previous band I discussed, Karnage through Crossing. While that album had its merits, R.I.U.Y.A.Y.P.C has very few shortcomings. It may not be groundbreaking, but it is a solid fucking heavy metal record for 2024. The vocals by Dizzy are terrific, ranging from low registers to soaring high falsettos, often reminiscent of sounding like Bruce Dickinson and Rob Halford. The The album is filled with fucking killer riffs and the songwriting is exceptional. Every song is fantastic. Every song's fantastic. It's fun, catchy, and features great guitar solos throughout. Fuel to the Fire is a great way to kick off the album with its high octane energy. Warrior of the Road is a bit slower, incorporating doom-laden moments, but boasts a memorable fucking chorus. In my opinion, Metal Will Never Die is the weakest song on the album, but it's still pretty good. The band gets creative in the next few tracks with the Eclipse, incorporating harsher vocals in a fun way. Oh, that ending's amazing. The song seamlessly bleeds into Berserk, which is absolutely blistering, featuring blistering guitar solos and soaring choruses. Long live the king. Long din din din, live din din din, the king. Will have you belting out that chorus, I guarantee it. With its groovy riffs and a mix of clean and harsh vocals, I could take or leave Midnight Resistance. It's fine, but another song could have wrapped up the album better. The bass work throughout reminds me of Steve Harris's style, dirty and prominent in the mix. The production is excellent. This album doesn't sound like it was fucking released a few days ago. It feels like it was unearthed from the archives of the 90s or even fucking 80s. Overall, this album impressed me and I'm scoring it an 85? Maybe not that far. 80%. It's a fun and brewing album from start to finish with top-notch vocals that truly stand out on Evil Empire. Definitely check this fucker out. Warhammer666, a black metal one-man band, released a new EP called R.I.U.Y.A.Y.P.C. Oh, fuck it. Ram it up your ass, you poofy cunt. That's what it stands for. Very Aussie. It was released independently on December 11th. Well, this is a fantastic EP. I loved it from start to finish. It's fueled by hatred and aggressive black metal. Warhammer666's vocals are just fucking manic on this. But really stands out is the brilliant songwriting. The guitars are fucking razor sharp. And while the production is raw, you can still hear every instrument. Throughout the mix. It's a well-balanced black metal EP and I love it. When I first heard the opening track, Jericho Horns, I was hooked because of how fucking high octane it is. The vocals are so impressive on this. In The Fire Rains from the Sky, he experiments with like fucking low register growls at the beginning and then it's balls to the walls, furious black metal. The melody in Wolf's Blood Supremacy gets stuck in your head as does the dark evil conclusion with Shut In Dwell Amongst, which is a terrific way to end off the album. Overall, this is probably the best EP I've heard all year, and certainly the best black metal EP I've heard all year. The production is great, the songwriting is excellent, and the vocals really impress me. It only runs for about 15 minutes, so if you spare a quarter of an hour, make sure you listen to this if you like abrasive black metal. There's certainly a lot of atmosphere thanks to the raw elements present in the music. I'm scoring this around 80%. I mean, I can't give it any higher, but an EP that earns at 80% is pretty fucking impressive. So go check it out if you like atmospheric, abrasive black metal. Going over to Sweden now, Fatal Embrace has released their new album, Hail Down Deep, on December 13th through Black Lion Records. This album is melodic, blackened death metal, and it's pretty good. It's finally been released after fucking 26 years on the shelf, but it was re-recorded and is now Fatal Embrace's third studio album. They reunited a few years back, released an album last year, and now they decided to finally let Hail Down Deep see the light of fucking day. And I'm glad they did, although it won't make it onto my end of year list. I really like this album though. Hell, I love how aggressive the vocals are, and there are killer songs like Of Unholy Measure, where the guitars are simply mouth-watering. Spirit of the Fiend is just an in-your-face track. I appreciate like the fucking post-metal elements and a bit of a melodic death metal flair, but this is primarily black metal with a black and death touch. Southern Malice is another fantastic song featuring those prominent guitars. The vocals are high in the mix, which could have been a tad lower in my opinion, but it doesn't detract from the great musicianship on display here. Darkness Said and Done is a melodic and catchy tune. There are some really fast changes on this record that sound a bit disjointed in my opinion, but overall it's a solid release that grows on you with repeated listens. This is also a loud fucking album. Everything is cranked up to fucking 100, which enhances its abrasive nature. Through the Speaking Veil is such a fantastic song, probably the most melodic track on the album. Solve the Black Heart serves as a enthralling way to close out the album that has been sitting in the shadows for 26 fucking years. I have one pet hate though, the fade out digging up the hatchet. What was the deal with that? The song hadn't ended and you faded out for 30 fucking seconds. Are you serious? I know bands fade out songs, but not in the good fucking bits. It was just getting good. The songwriting is good and I thoroughly enjoyed it from start to finish. With that being said, I'm giving this a score of around 75%. Definitely check this out if you like melodic blackened death metal. We fly over to Spain again. Really? Spain again? The Spanish are making some fantastic metal this year, and it seems like they're trying to take over the world, run one riff at a time. This time, we check out another Embrace. This time, Dark Embrace with their album Land of Witches, released on December 13th through Massacre Records. This is such a fun album from start to finish. I loved every moment of it. It's melodic death metal with elements of thrash and even black metal, and every song is filled with fucking energy. This could possibly make it onto my end of year list. The more I listen to it, the more I want to include it on this list. I love the gothic undertones on this record, and while I think some might not enjoy the unique vocals, they range from growls to high abrasive clean vocals, mixing King Diamond-esque highs with a sprinkle of Miller Petroses from Curator. It has fucking everything, and it's such a fun listen. From the blazing guitar solos and melodic hooks to the catchy choruses and Oscar Rilo's vocals, this is one of the standout albums of December. It's a unique album filled with flourishing drum work. Julio's drumming is terrific and prominent throughout the mix. That guitar solo in Dark Land is mouth-watering. The album kicks off with, "Are we really the witches? Yes, we are. We the witches. A fantastic melodic death thrasher. The chorus is catchy and the vocals made me laugh at times in a good fucking way. He transitions from growls to high falsettos, making it a really fun song. Then you have Orcavala, another fantastic track. It's so good and I love the production on this one. 107. Oh, yeah. My Darkest End has a melodic death flair with a very catchy chorus and another amazing guitar solo. We get some high octane thrash throughout a Blaze in the Sky, which is a great song. Though there aren't too many lyrics on this song and there's a lot of repetition, but hey, it's still a fun listen. Witch Tower is a fantastic song from start to finish, featuring black metal elements with guitars and synths that create an ominous atmosphere. Again, another high octane track. Finally, In the Snow, the grand finale slows things down with a more doomy and gothic vibe, and I loved how the album concluded. I'm scoring this around 80%. This is too good not to score it lower. I love this one and I need to purchase the physical as soon as I can. But definitely go check it out. One band that decided to drop an album out of the fucking blue is the one-man Finnish band Satanic Warmaster and their new album Exultation of Cruelty, released on December 13th through Werewolf Records. This album is the surprise of the year for me. I really enjoy Satanic Warmaster's discography. It's no denying. And every album is fantastic in its own right. Amanganda was one of my favorites a couple of years back, but I feel that Exultation of Cruelty is even better. Satanic Warmaster brings back that raw fucking production on this release with new tracks filled with dark, brooding atmosphere, high, menacing, blackened shrieks, and fantastic melodies. The atmosphere on this album is haunting, drawing you into its cold fucking embrace. The riffs are aggressive yet melodic, creating a sense of urgency that perfectly complements the desolation conveyed by Werewolf's vocals. I love the sound of this one, harkening back to his earlier styles with plenty of fantastic fucking melodies encased in a raw, menacing production. Each song invites you to hit replay as soon as the album concludes, especially, holy shit, A Dead Rose for a Dying Rose, which features one of the best melodies I've heard all year. The interplay between the slower paced sections and those harsh high vocals creates a fucking amazing song filled with so much fucking emotion. I could truly feel it. To kick off the album, you have that high octane black metal sound that Satanic Warmaster is known for. A Black Circle of Death showcases some great riffs with the guitars cutting through the mix like a fucking blade. Harken the Bells of Damnation is another fantastic track filled with explosive energy and intricate melodies. One of my favorites, Exultation of Starlit Tombs, is an incredible song that mesmerizes with its repetitious structure. The riffs are simple yet fucking captivating, featuring great hooks and leads that draw you in, while the ending feels like you're being placed under a hypnotic spell. Lord of Blood and Darkness serves as an eerie instrumental interlude incorporating synths that enhance the overall atmosphere and provide a chilling transition into the next song, of course, Exultation of Starlit Tombs. The songwriting on this album is fantastic. I honestly didn't want it to end. Is it the best black metal album of the year? I don't think it is, but it's definitely up there. I'm scoring this around 85%. I love the influences of Judas Iscariot and Dark Throne, and sort of a bit of like Armageddon as well. The production is superb, and the drumming with its tight fills that transition seamlessly into heavier moments is outstanding. And yeah, there is a lot of Horner influence on this album, but I fucking love it. Go check it out. And now for our co-main event in this week's Discovery, we have an album that will most definitely make it onto my end of year list. We're talking about the French progressive goth metal band, the Old Dead Tree, and their album Second Thoughts, released on December 6th through Season of Mist. When I first heard this album, I thought it was fantastic, rivaling my favourites of the year. I've always loved progressive metal, and when it's done like this, with dark gothic themes and those satisfying guitar leads and vocals, I was all in with the Old Dead Tree. This album is filled with emotion, marking the band's return after a massive hiatus. Their last album was released all the way back in 2007 before iPhones even fucking existed, which is incredible. They are back with such a complete album filled with outstanding songwriting, fantastic vocal work, and some very heavy moments. A lot of this album reminds me of a heavier Catatonia, especially with the harsh vocals that sound like an angry fucking cat. Every song on this album is warranted, and it's an epic journey from start to finish. The production is excellent. You can hear every distinct sound of the drums, which are brilliant. I love the drum fills and the complex accents that Raphael brings to the table. Manuel's vocals are simply terrific. His voice is so angelic, but during the heavier moments, his ethereal singing transforms into like fucking monstrous growls ready to pounce. The screams on this album exemplify the intensity of the songs. The album begins lightly with Unpredictable, but then progresses to heavier moments in the lightest straw. Within a Second Thought is a catchy melodic track that sometimes resembles melodic death metal, especially with those powerful vocals. The eerie song Luke features lyrics that will haunt your nights.
It's where we left Luke's remain. We stopped mentioning his name.
Story of My Life is another track that really grows on you and showcasing great doomy laden riffs. I Wish I Could has a very Catatonia feel to it. It's something Catatonia would certainly do, and it's a standout song. The trap introduces like an industrial flair with a dark melody sounding epic throughout. Celestalgia is a fantastic track featuring some of the catchiest leads and beautiful crescendos. It's probably the most accessible song on the album. Things really heat up in the final tracks, Okay and The Worst Is Yet to Come, which deliver great progressive metal with fantastic riffs, manic vocals at times, and layered pianos that enhance the gothic and atmospheric quality, providing a satisfying conclusion to the album. Overall, I have no hesitation scoring this around 85%. This is a fantastic album from start to finish, and many people will likely wish they had included it on the end of year list. Go check it out. And now we've come to the end. Our main event for this week's Discovery is an album I've been waiting for a very long fucking time. And finally it's here. We're talking about the UK black metal band, The Axis of Perdition, and their spine-chilling album, Apertures, released on December 13th through Apocalyptic Witchcraft Recordings. Take a listen. This album is nothing short of extraordinary. I've always enjoyed an Axis of Perdition. They are unsettling in the best way possible. I mentioned them a handful of times on this channel this year, especially the 2005 monumental classic, Deleted Scenes from the Transition Hospital. The band changed the to an back in 2019 to signify a new era, and now we witness the dawn of this era. Apertures is an atmospheric, industrial fused nightmare filled with avant-garde elements, haunting vocals, and fantastic hidden melodies. You can't just listen to this fucking album once. You must immerse yourself in it multiple times to truly grasp this mesmerizing work. One of the reasons I've held back on my end of year list is because of this fucking album, and it certainly didn't disappoint. The sonic landscape is truly horrifying. This is a nightmare-fueled descent from the depths of hell, and dare I say, one of the scariest albums of the year. The vocals are menacing, weaving through chaotic guitars that collide and intertwine like shadows in the dark. Every song flows seamlessly into the next, and the interludes become increasingly unsettling when experienced through headphones. It feels like a cohesive journey from start to finish. Brooke Johnson's vocals are searing whispers that send chills down your spine as if he has risen from the grave, ready to haunt your very soul. This album is chilling from beginning to end, and I find myself playing it over and over again, each listen revealing new layers within the hidden cacophony of sound. The orchestral elements and keyboards add a haunting depth with swirling, abrasive melodies that wash over you like an unending tide of despair. The first track, Corrupted Pulse, takes you back to the deleted scenes from the Transition Hospital, with old lights flickering in the background and eerie sounds enveloping you. Then they plunge you into a psychological mindfuck with metempsychosis, featuring dizzying guitars, a dark ominous atmosphere, and whispery vocals that echo into the void. Chant of the Wonderful Prey is another standout track, filled with unexpected moments, rapid transitions, and progressive elements that keep you on edge. The truth is there to tear apart. The song delivers thunderous percussion, fantastic guitar work, and intense production that envelops you like a fucking shroud. Private Acts of Abnegation is a chaotic masterpiece with syncopated riffs and polyrhythmic drumming. While Flesh Underfoot, evokes the sound of someone walking through like blood, ready to open the door to the terrifying I Am Odium. What a haunting closer it is. Holy shit. Overall, this is an incredible album from start to finish. I've pre-ordered this motherfucker, and it should be arriving in the mail in a few weeks, hopefully. No doubt this is one of my favorites of the year. I'm scoring it at 90%. While it may not surpass their earlier work, it certainly stands tall. They experiment while throwing in off-guard moments that plunge you into a new world of death for nearly an hour. A world drenched in darkness. So, that's it for Discovery for now. I say for now because I've heard a lot of other albums this week. This week was fucking stacked with releases, so maybe in a couple of days I'll drop another episode. One band from Spain, yes, Spain again, really surprised me. Yes, another band from Spain, can you believe it? Our discovery is not over yet. For those who say there are no new metal releases, look no further than this episode. We've got the new fucking Axis of Perdition album, discovered Dark Embrace, uncovered the new Satanic Warmaster, and also found a heavy metal gem in Invicti. There's so much to discover, and that's one reason why I created this show. Not to fucking gatekeep, but to inform you all about the fantastic and not so good releases. Discovery will continue throughout the remainder of the year, as I said before, and we will have a special episode for Christmas. So expect another episode in the coming days. Let me know your favourite discoveries down below. It's been fun, and I'll see you in the next one.